the court order. What is this going on? Huh. It says recording in progress, so I don't know what happened to my thing. I hope it didn't screw me up. Okay, so that got me off my train of thought. Oh, I totally lost it. I'm like, why did it just said recording in progress, so I don't know what it's doing here. Sorry about that. So
like all this stuff is verified, has been investigated, but I didn't know that at the time, and I did feel bad for him.
But no, they've done everything they can to criminalize me. And I noticed long ago that this was a pattern, not just with me, but
across the board,
across the board with SF guys.
Yeah,
and it pissed me off.
And that they use the SF status too.
It drove some guys to suicide. It drove others to. You really got to wonder if it was suicide.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've been trying to raise this issue with several of our brothers, and it just typically goes nowhere. Nobody wants. Like, do you know who Landon Valentine is?
Not commercial. Valentine Lucy.
He was a. I want to say he was an officer.
Not only that it still stands, it's been renewed multiple times.
East Coast, but yeah, he was in the room. That poor guy. Oh, they just murderized him in court and it was all based upon our SF stats. You know, that's what they do. Oh, you're special forces? Oh, you must be all these other things. I'm not a gun nut. I mean, I don't mind guns. I know how to use them. Probably want to be the other end when I do. But yeah, I'm not a big gun nut. I like fishing. I like to take my boy fishing. Yeah, Florida was nice. But yeah, 2 years ago, my son came forward to report that he was being abused, and that didn't match the narrative of what they were trying to put down on me. He wasn't being abused by me. He was reporting being abused by mom, and she was doing it intentionally.
Okay, I'm sure this is a bot because you guys keep repeating this nonsense. All right, so you said what he said has all been verified. No, I did not. I said the exact opposite. Again, what he has said, I've found time and time again, whether it has to do with his ex-wives, his girlfriends, his kids, everything that he said has been a lie time and time again. That's
like, from what I'm gathering, again, somebody from that is learning about this in real time, all of it anyway. The only thing that's like verified is that he was there, right?
He was there at Fort Huachuca. Nothing
and that's the only thing that matters.
Else has been verified. The material elements of the story,
at least in terms of Candace's investigation, he's done. He said, I saw these people. I mean, that's really the only, now it's up to Candace to verify, because just some eyewitness, some guy who says, well, I think I saw these people, you got to go and dig now to find out, can we verify that they were there? Did anybody else see them? He's done. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters was he said that he saw them there. Now, is he Jesus Christ that's come down from heaven and never done a bad thing in his life? No, of course not. Oh, Lord. He really gave everybody a loop with the Zodiac Killer stuff.
Are not only unbelievable, they didn't happen, but there's no proof.
But just because his father was a serial killer, that doesn't mean anything against, apparently, I mean, I know with my mother, pathological liar, I don't want to do that. And like, she was horrible to my father. I was, and to her children, I was determined never would I repeat that. So either, and this was, this was a really good crime movie series that they had. And it was these people, they flew around in jets and stuff, and they were like psychic and things like that. But one of the guys in there, he said, because the serial killer, they got the serial killer, and the serial killer says, well, I was abused as a child and stuff, and he's the head guy in the series. And he said, yeah, well, you can either become like them or try and stop them. Meaning, me too, but I chose a different path. So
there's no proof.
If anybody tries
Brian
to pull
Harper was
out
there. There's no proof that
serial killer stuff and he's bad for that, I'm sure he jumped the gun on that one. I'm sure he did.
matter of fact, just the opposite. There's no proof that Congressman Amadei was there. Just the opposite. We now have airtight proof that he was in Washington, D.C. at the time. There's no.
Okay, great. Candace was like, okay, yeah, he was able to prove he was where he was. So we move on. I don't know. Oh, see, it was a lie. It was a lie. No, it wasn't a lie. It was a question.
Proof that Cabot Phillips was there. Just the opposite. We now have airtight proof that he was.
Well, airtight proof is not still on the table.
Not there. There's no proof that Erica Kirk was there. We have a really. I know that there's proof that has been released. I know that there's proof that she was not there. So, like nothing he said materially is true.
So it's like saying
he said there's proof that has been released. I haven't seen any of that proof. We'll find out.
Like I was at this place and I saw all of this stuff, but all I can prove to you is that I was at this place.
This is what this is what it's like. It's me going out in the woods.
That's all that's important.
And telling you, hey, you know what? I just saw Elvis out in the woods. I take a picture of me out in the woods and I say, look, it's proof I was out in the woods. I don't have pictures of Elvis, but I was definitely out in the woods. So you have to believe me. It's the dumbest argument. It's the dumbest logic. It's stupid. It would only work with the dumbest people on the planet.
That's the dumbest analogy. And stop saying it would only work with the stupidest people. Anything that you say that anybody doesn't agree with, they're d'office stupide. No. So, this guy really, he is a control freak. And his analogy of if I go out in the woods, I mean, that's like, if a bear or if a tree falls in the woods, it doesn't make a sound if nobody's there to hear it. I mean, his analogy is completely ludicrous because, yeah, all we want to know, was he really where he says he was? Okay, well then we can prove that. Is what he's saying, because he might be telling the truth, he might not be telling the truth. In a court of law, okay, this man says, I saw these certain people. Well, that wouldn't be enough to convict somebody. You would have to then go on to get other witnesses to corroborate that, other evidence that they were there. Why were they there? What were they doing there? That's just the beginning of your investigation into this thread, as they're calling it.
Well, I mean,
but you'd have that metadata though.
I have metadata proving I was in the woods.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, metadata proving that you were in the woods. And for example, let's say that you were witness to a crime in the woods there. A bear attacked somebody, or there was a hit job. Let's say you're out in the woods and you see somebody shoot and kill somebody else. Well, the metadata would prove that you were in the woods. And then, well, then there was also a crime there. Well, then it's very likely that what he's telling us, he is a valid witness because we can prove that he was there. Can you prove that he was there at the time that the crime committed? Well, that would be the next step. See, the analogy that he's using there is absolutely ludicrous.
We found
that's it.
She was trying to set me up for a charge of child abuse.
Yeah.
And she was getting help from the courts, from the judge over here, a couple of them. When my son came forward to report her, well, they snapped back and retaliated. And eventually they threw me in jail under allegation. I can't help but laugh. This allegation.
See, this is typical tactic. Throw him in jail. He's got an arrest. He's got something on his record.
Yeah, the allegation that I was either the leader or hiring party of a unidentified biker gang to stage a mass kill event at the courthouse to kill judges. Yeah, I know, right? That's serious. I can show you the criminal record. It's horrible. It looks terrible. The only problem with that is there was no evidence. There's no
cause.
crap. Don't know what I just did. Let me go back to this thing. All right, hold on. I hit one button. One button is all it took. Yeah, there we go.
How long has that been, Mitch?
2.5 years.
Your kid?
To stage a mass kill event at the courthouse to kill judges.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? That's serious. I can show you the criminal record. It's horrible. It looks terrible. Yeah, the only problem with that is there was no evidence. There's no just like saying I'm not a gun nut, probably not typical SF guy either. But yeah, I don't have a Harley. I don't ride motorcycles. I don't know anybody. I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody on a motorcycle gang ever.
Yeah, I think that the whole Harley thing was big in the I think that was kind of the end of.
All right, I'm pretty sure, and again, I'm trying to remember this from memory, right? Because I didn't record this because I was a man of my word and trying to be, an honest broker here. And when he asked me not to record, I didn't record. I'm pretty sure he's cut out.
And he asked me not to record. He just makes things up as he goes along.
The entire portion regarding his events, his claim of events down on the border, where this is what he told me, folks. He said that, as far as this big drug bust, he started talking about it, but then it was, he stopped. It may come up later. We'll see. But what he claimed was that they had this huge drug bust, literally had tons of drugs, truckloads of drugs and weapons. And being the youngest guy, the lowest enlisted, they assigned him the duty of burning all of those drugs and destroying all of those guns. All right. Those drugs and guns are evidence. All right. There's a specific way that the DEA disposes of drugs. And he claims that he was out there in the middle of the night, getting a contact high and just burning literally truckloads of drugs all night long in a bonfire in the middle of the desert.
Of like,
I'm sorry.
Coke?
What's that?
Of like Coke? Wouldn't that be what they were
I don't
trafficking?
know if he ever said, I don't remember if he ever said it was cocaine or
Cocaine.
heroin, but it was, it really doesn't matter. Whether it was marijuana, whether it was cocaine, whether it was heroin.
I'm sorry.
Probably all of the above. I don't know, but we'll see if that comes up. But I'm pretty sure this was early on the conversation. And he started talking about, he started
Of course, if he stumbled on subversive activity in which the American government is involved, we all know now about how the American government has been involved in that. Of course, they're going to destroy the evidence. They're not going to prosecute anybody involved. I don't know who was arrested. Maybe, I don't know the details of how that went down, but he stumbled across something that it was kind of like an oops. So, no, again, his story holds water.
talking about, how this all started was, 30 years ago when I was down on the border, and pretty sure that's where he told me that story. I don't know. It remains to be seen. We'll see if we hear about it. But the point here is that this has been edited. It was illegally recorded. It's been edited. 30 minutes have been taken out. I will show you proof of that in just a moment.
Okay, he keeps on going that, first it was illegally recorded. So that kind of is on the table. And we're going to be arguing about that one. But that it's been edited. He keeps on saying that 30 minutes has been taken out of the recording. I'm not positive what's missing. It would be interesting to see the rest of the recording.
Show you my call logs of that.
Big push in the SF community with almost like these biker gang type things going on within teams in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think that faded out to my generation as well. But and there was guys that were getting strung up. I don't know. I guess they thought they were the Sons of Liberty and SF guys, and that's never a booze, bikes, SF guys.
Nobody's ever presented to me that way, but now I sort of get that. I can sort of see that. Yeah. Okay, I get you. No, if you ever met me, I walk around in Tommy Bahamas, and I've got a blue and gold macaw on my shoulder. Yep. I walk around like I'm in Florida all the time, wearing hey dude, red, white, and blue hey dude.
As well.
I'm pretty sure I'd get my ass kicked if I ever walked into a biker gang. So no, I get the allegation. for anybody who doesn't really know or doesn't consider people being individuals.
Sure. They're just playing on stereotypes.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, like, and this is all escalated. So they threw me in jail for 92 days, knowing I was innocent. They didn't have any. There's no evidence. There's no. Yeah, it was totally cooperative. There's no phone
Here's my
calls.
phone,
There's no
yeah.
text. There's
Yeah,
no.
he spent 92 days in jail. No evidence or anything against him.
Pictures. There's no history. I don't have a motorcycle. It was just retaliatory stuff, and they had a couple of honeydew girls involved with it too, that they had come get involved with it. Those two girls ended up. Oh good God! They got into my records. They contacted SFB. They were on call with Bill Olson. Bill Olson was helping them to try and implicate me, breaking orders and all this other stuff. And I finally gave him the big FU inside the room. You know, why are you cooperating with two women that aren't SF? Why are you giving them information about me from anything? You know, from within our supposed, you know, secret group team room. That was a real violation to me, and I called them out in public for it, out there on the page. And in retaliation, the admins decided to kick me out. Yeah, screw them. Gotta love our buddies sometimes, you know.
It's disgusting the way the vets have treated him. Disgusting.
There was nothing to any of the charges. They were all dropped. That didn't stop them from telling my son that I committed suicide in jail and I'm dead, and therefore they put him on a protective order. They haven't let me see my son since.
I mean, this is just horrific that, you know, she tells the son that the father is dead. And this is how we end up often with children committing suicide. These are not, you know, banal crimes. This is not just a divorce, as everybody's saying.
And they're not going to let me see him until I plead guilty to the allegations.
Yeah.
How long has that been, Mitch?
2.5 years.
2.5.
He didn't do anything, but they're not going to let him see his son until he admits he was guilty of attacking her. Then he gets thrown in jail. See how it works?
2.5 years.
Wow. How old is your son?
All right, I'm gonna address this up front. Somebody keeps saying this, and it's all over X. In your public post, you specifically say, "I was certain he was recording." If you were certain, why did you keep talking? Only you can answer that question. Why would I not talk?
Not only that, was he not recording from a state that's a two-party consent recording state? So you didn't consent regardless.
It requires explicit consent. All right. Me continuing to stay on the phone, and I was, you know, more accurately to say, I suspected he was recording. My suspicions were correct. But for him to record that, this is the way the law is. All right. I don't care if you like it or not. For him to record that, he has to tell me, hey, I am recording this call. He needs explicit permission from me to say it's okay. And he didn't. He broke the law because he has no regard of the law. He sits there and asks me if I'm making sure I'm not recording, which that usually goes both ways. That's my also like, okay, I'm not going to record. He's not going to record. We're going to have an open and honest conversation. I don't care if he was recording. I did nothing wrong on this. I did what was supposed to be done. This is real investigative journalism. It's not sitting there waiting for somebody to bring you tips from your tip box or anything like that. This is what you do. You call people and verify or deny their story from their own lips, and you get information from them.
Once again, this is real investigative journalism, going out and talking to people and not waiting for tips in your tip box. Jealousy of Candace Owens, that she's getting all of this attention. He's not. He's even going down in attention because his loyalty is the military-industrial complex. I mean, you know, his company, they train soldiers. So, of course, that's where his loyalties lie.
That's how investigations are supposed to work. And yes, this phone call was illegal. Yes, I have pressed charges, and there's more to come. Trust me.
Okay, so he says he's pressed charges. We have him on record as having said that. So let's see how this thing goes. Because we'll see if it goes to court, but I'm sure it's going to be discussed on the internet quite a bit.
How old is your son?
He's 13.
13.
13? Yeah, that's...
I'll give you all the records you reported. Yeah, I know it's unbelievable. It's a crazy...
13 years old. And everybody's playing a game with this child's life. Disgusting. Disgusting.
story, isn't it? I know. I'm aware. I try to...
No, I mean, I knowing how
I keep on explaining to all of these people who want to cover up what's going on here, do the same kind of crap that Gary is pulling here. I've seen it time and time again. I have told everybody, particularly with dual nationalities, and that gets a lot of the immigrants here are going to be a real shit show. But anyway, I keep on telling them, you guys, the rules that you want to normalize and maintain, this is Rumpelstiltskin. You are renouncing your parental rights in doing so. Any moment, government can come in and take everything you own, and goodbye. You have no rights. See, this is how people are degrading their own rights. It's not just the laws that are being passed and how they are being implemented in the courts. It's citizens reacting to this situation exactly how we're seeing here, played in real time.
Knowing how women are and knowing how, no offense, Amy.
No, no, those kind of women are absolutely, they give women a bad name. Like, that's what makes me so mad. Like, how can you do this to another person? I mean, I went through a divorce and I was like the complete opposite. I was like,
yeah,
you know,
women are even more vicious. I mean, we don't have the physical. We've always had to rely on being physically the inferior animal species. So we've had to rely more on our brains. So yeah, we get cornered. We're a lot more vicious than the men.
Well, just the way they weaponize the way they weaponize kids against you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so wrong. Yep.
And then how the justice system is set up in the against the father or the man involved is just again, I went through a very, not quite to that extent, but to where I was getting divorced, and then I was actually in the Q course when I was getting divorced, and then kind of the same thing. It was like they were calling my command saying I wasn't paying child support every day. I'd have to go in like once a week and show them documents. Look, I've paid every single. Matter of fact, I was paying more than was requested of me.
Wow.
And then on top of that,
let me get my shot.
and then on top of that, when the divorce finalized, the courts. The judge said, "Hey, look, because he's in the military, and at the time I was deploying constantly to Iraq, Afghanistan. It's like, hey, we're not going to set up child visitation on a schedule. It's like when he has leave, you're going to give him the kids." And so when I would get back from deployment, and I'd actually they lived in Texas at the time, so I fly to Texas to go to get. And then what she would do is she would hide the kids from me the entire time I was on leave, and I couldn't find the kids. She'd move them off to she'd move them around from when I was traveling, like trying to go to her family's houses everywhere I do. She'd shuttle them around.
Right, and then you trying to do that. Let me guess. If you did,
she called the cops on me.
Yep.
Call the cops on you, say that you're stalking her and all this.
Even though that was the court order for you to see him on your leave.
Like it's a
We're gonna have to do a deep dive into Gary Melton's divorce.
See, it's
shocker. Hold on, let me get my shock face.
No.
I haven't played that game at all. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, your story is very similar to I want to say it was Lieutenant Colonel or Colonel. Oh man, the name is just. I'm gonna have to go up to my computer. Wait, you might stay.
I'm bad with names too.
How long do you want to stay on the phone here?
Yeah, I got time.
Let me just clarify for all of you internet sleuths out there. Is Mitch in Arizona? It's a one-party state. No, he was in Washington State, because in a minute we see his house. And I have talked to people that used to live in his house, and I verified, because that's what good investigative journalists do, that was indeed his house in Washington State. So nice try. No.
And I just sent you my contact information.
Okay.
Believe me, all of us who are going up against family courts, somebody who pulls something like this and then tries to turn around and say, oh, you recorded me illegally. We're like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You guys have pulled so much crap. And see, this is where I get into the Julian Assange. And the Chelsea Manning. These guys, they steal, certified and classified documents, and apparently they did put some people's lives in danger. And they're lauded as heroes. And those of us who are fighting, I'm sorry, I'm like, wait a second. You're talking about they're fighting for everybody's rights and all of this. I mean, they're put up on a pedestal, and us women out there and men, there are some men as well, like Mitch Snow, who are fighting to restore sanity and law into the courts. and maybe because, oh yeah, I mean, I get everything on recorded nowadays. I live in Washington, D.C. I think we are one party, but I'm like, even if you guys want to pull that on me, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, I'm like, come on, we have to do it because you people are lying through your teeth. You play nice guy, and then you turn around and you become, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In forensic, when I spoke with the forensics psychiatrist in Spain related to my divorce, that's a real thing in forensic psychiatry. He was said, yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality. I'm like, yeah.
With email on there and everything else.
Yeah, okay. No worries. We'll just stay in contact here. I'm just, you caught us getting coffee and breakfast.
Here we go. This is his house. All right. I verified that this is indeed his house in Washington State.
Yeah, no, that's
Five people that live there.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of my last 25 years trying things like that.
All right. The call was never dropped. All right. Matter of fact, let's just show you guys this. I do have to get off here about 7:45 no matter what, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this of the actual call log that I have for this. All right. Pull up image file. We'll go to downloads here. Let me see. So this is one, it's 59 minutes. This is the second call. This is the second call. This was not the first call. You guys can see it was at 3:38 p.m. Trying to see what we got there. 3:38 p.m. and that was a 59-minute call. We'll remove that. I'll show you the other one. We have this one right here. All right, so this one right here is at 12:49. It was an hour and 26 minutes long. Let me just make sure I'm showing the right one. Yes. All right. So that was a total of 2 hours and 25 minutes of phone call. What is on this video is 1 hour and 55 minutes. So almost exactly 30 minutes of this video has been removed. So again, who's lying to you? It's not Gary. I wish I had recorded the phone call so I could know exactly what was edited out of there.
Yeah, we'd all like to know what was edited out of there, but I'm sure it's not gonna be in your favor, buddy.
How do you know this? This frustrates me. It takes me getting to this level to finally get somebody who gets it. The government doesn't
see, they're bonding. Oh, it's really nice to find somebody who finally gets it. But I don't think Mitch was fooled for a moment. I really don't. He hasn't been in it for 20 years, but he's been in it almost as long as maybe more.
The government doesn't want to know that there are guys that were trained with U.S. tax dollars working for cartels. That is a shit optic story. That's
yeah.
why that's
okay.
Published in
this is the part. All right. This is where he had told me about the cartels and all this other stuff, and that he was being recruited by cartels and everything else. You can see that there is a clear cut there because he told me a wazoo story. That's the truth. And
Maybe there's the cut there because this is going to be in his tell-all book, and maybe he didn't want the entire cartel story to be. That's his prerogative.
Also, the conversely. Like, that is true. There are guys that are former special operators that are down working for the cartels and training cartel members. That's also true.
New York Times. You know what I mean?
Exactly correct. Yeah, and it's also not a. It's not a pretty story. No. It's not when you take to the FBI and the FBI goes, "Oh my gosh, let's check it out." No, they say, "Oh, give us the names and everything else like you're doing to me right now." And then the next time they come into the room, they're acting like they're going to arrest you. Yeah, like how dare you even mention this? Yeah, no, I've been yeah, a couple of times. Shit optic store. Yeah, shit optic. That's a good one. Good way to take it.
Gary knows, like a good soldier, he's fallen upon somebody that he knows has to be silenced. The military wants him silenced. Nobody's had to tell him. He knows he's got to silence him.
No, that's. I mean, we see that time and time again. There's a lot of, there's look when it comes to. I really believe. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the assassination attempt on President Trump, right?
Yeah. Wait, what? When did that happen?
Assassination.
Seriously? They tried to, is that today? Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, no.
So we have Thomas Crooks that has allegedly zero digital footprint, or very minimal digital footprint. So we have, this.
Is it possible? Sure. Plausible? Absolutely not. Yeah.
And what I believe is that he was targeted, profiled, and recruited, radicalized, and weaponized online. And I think they know that.
Okay, yeah. See this. I've been watching this. You're seeing a pattern. The narrative with all of these, they were, and this is where we gotta focus. We gotta focus only on this. That means we don't want to focus only on that, but we do have to look at this. They were radicalized online. They were radicalized online, and that's where we have to look now, and we have to investigate and see how that was done. And I agree, that is a line of investigation that's very important here. But Candace, go ahead, Gary Melton. If you'd like to pursue that investigation, take the lead. Go ahead.
I think there's a couple of different options there.
You're starting to get into that tinfoil hat MK Ultra thing that they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm 100% tinfoil hat on the MK Ultra, and I think
See, he's trying to turn the tables and go, oh, you guys want to call me crazy? Isn't this MK Ultra stuff supposed to be like anybody who talks about that is one supposed to be crazy, right?
It's not like MK Ultra stopped. They didn't stop trying to control people's minds.
Yeah, there was no break in the call.
Right?
Supposedly, yeah.
We've since perfected it, and I have a lot of good evidence with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that we don't know, the reason that the government hasn't shared that information with us is a couple of possible reasons. Number one, it was deep state brain to begin with, and these people didn't like President Trump, so elements within our own intelligence community targeted him by through any use of cover. They're not going to say, oh, hey, we're projects X wing out of the CIA. They're using, so either our own people did it, and or political actors did it, and or foreign adversaries did it. I think all of those are possible. All of those are possible. Even if they knew that for a fact, they're not going to share that information because they don't want the public to know how easy this is. So it doesn't benefit the government to even let them know that is possible. And I think we can.
Yeah. How do you? Why do you want to make their victims aware? I got it.
Yeah. Well, let's just say they're on the up and up. Let's say the FBI and other intelligence agencies are like, oh my God, this was done by a foreign actor or whatever else. It still doesn't. It's kind of like the UAP program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like speaking of tinfoil hats, and I'm very into the UAP program. I know it's real.
Let me clarify.
People have decided that it doesn't benefit.
There was 2 continuous phone calls. Great question. I didn't clarify that. There was 2 continuous phone calls. One, which we're still on, is the very first call. That was, again, it was an hour and 26 minutes long. One continuous phone call, no drops, no need to call, but there was no breaks in the conversation, nothing like that. The second call, which was, the first call was at 12:49. The second call, he called me back. All right, he called me at 3:38 p.m. It was 59 minutes long. 2 continuous phone calls. There was no breaks in between. We're only 33 minutes into this phone call. All right, there was no breaks in the call.
Okay.
But there's 30 minutes missing, almost exactly 30 minutes missing from the 2 calls.
Okay, we got that clear.
Good question. Glad to clarify.
The UAP is at the.
See, he's also trying to detract attention away from how he just spilled the beans about this is the way the government works, and and kind of like, and we got to cover it up. We can't let the public know that this is what's happening. See where he's coming from?
That's drones, right?
UFOs.
Oh, UAPs. UFOs. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't benefit the U.S. citizenry to know about it. Right. So there's no upside for them to know about it. So they're not going to give any information on it. And I think it's the same thing. And I think when we look at some of these other school shootings where they just kind of swept this stuff under the rug. When we look at Stephen Paddock from Las Vegas, I think these were test runs. I think these were people being targeted and being radicalized and weaponized online.
Can I add one of those names to your list?
Sure.
You really should look into. You should have already picked up on it. Travis Decker.
Oh yeah.
There should be a whole thing about who killed Travis Decker. That's right up here in Wenatchee. And if you're up here in Washington, I don't know if you're in the north. Where are you?
I'm actually in West Virginia now.
Oh, lucky you.
This is my phone number from when I was still at. I actually still had a house in Yom until I don't know about 2 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the West Virginia. That's pretty territory up there. Guys, all they tease you about the banjo playing.
Here's the truth of it. West Virginia was the only state of the union I ever declared I would never live in. In 2008 or so, we were down at North Carolina, right where a 3-point train up, and my team sergeant's brother came to visit. Hey, where's you come from? He's like, he's come from West Virginia. I was like, I would never fucking live in West Virginia. And like 3 years later, I'm living in West Virginia.
That's my guy, didn't he?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, there's just going on about West Virginia.
Well, you seem like
Folks are trying to get through this. I got planning like 125. I might bump it up to 1.5 speed again. I want to make sure I get to all your questions, all the super chats. We will get there. I just want to get through this. And going back to this is another one of those third rail stories that even if the U.S. government knows about it, it doesn't benefit.
My whole life is third rail story. Pretty much. I think that's going to be the book. Thank you. I think that's going to be the book name.
We don't want to destroy the American dream by letting the public know that there are always these third-railed stories that they're talking about. No, this is the reality of most of America.
Third rails. What's a third rail story? Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. No, I'd love to have you on. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. Puts my mind at ease.
all true.
No, every time
all that was true, folks. I actually enjoyed talking to this guy. I knew he was lying about some things right there, but again, I didn't know how horrific things were until later on. I talked to his multiple wives, all of his children that he's never paid child support, all of his children that claim they witnessed abuse, that they witnessed
children that he was alienated from. Gary even says the good thing that came about this is the kids have gotten to know each other and know that the others exist and stuff, because he has first one from one woman, then two from another woman. I believe that's the one who passed away, and then this fourth child.
Psychological abuse.
And alienated from all of them by the mothers.
Constantly, that he constantly lied, all of these things. I didn't know what the monster I was talking to. I knew he was lying about some things at that point already, but I
get out of mirror, Gary.
Did enjoy him, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to have him on, and I'm going to let people just decide for themselves whether this guy's telling the truth or not. I'm hoping he'll relay, the story of falling.
I love how these guys always, I'm going to let them decide for themselves. I want you to decide for yourself. Everybody decide for yourself. I'm not trying to influence you. Decide for yourself. I'm just presenting evidence. Decide for yourself. Count how many times these guys tell you decide for yourself.
80 feet off of a cliff, and then just going mountain climbing for 3 weeks to recover, I guess. And then I wanted him to tell the story about him burning bales and bales of drugs as private snuffy. That's what I wanted. People would see that he's lying about Fort Huachuca too.
Here, Special Forces, get online. The first thing I'm doing is I'm looking at fire digits.
I just want to say all I'm seeing so far is that you're somebody who reached out to ask some questions, doing actual investigative journalism, and you're being genuine and having a conversation with somebody that answered the phone the same way you would with anyone that you're talking to. What is the problem here? Why is anything about this a problem?
It's
a problem because he's super nice to the guy on the phone trying to get all of this information. I mean, I'm sure, believe me, when you've been in this, Mitch knew that he couldn't trust Gary. I mean, that he had to be careful whatever he said. So I mean, Gary's like, nice, nice, let's be friends. Oh, I know that game. And then turn around and stab you in the back. It's just like some social climbing bitch who, tell me all your secrets. Tell me all your secrets. And then she goes to the country club and tells all of the other women, makes up lies, and also, oh, you can't imagine about her. Ooh, we know this game. And this little girl is, well, I don't see what is the problem here. Wake up, little girl, and see what, lie down with dogs and get up with fleas.
Promise.
It's all a spin. Go ahead.
The problem is that you're not being completely bombastic. You didn't sneak and record him and upload it out there and drag him, but rather it's very clear here.
Now they're trying to villainize him for recording the con job that was being done on him and posting it on the internet for everybody to see.
And what we've heard so far, that you're trying to be a straight shooter, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, trying to hear his story, give him a chance to talk. You let him talk. Lord knows.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Excuse me, presumption of innocence. God.
He's been talking, but that's the problem, is that you did not do what other people would do, and you didn't behave the way that they would behave. Therefore you are wrong, therefore you are bad, because you didn't drag him, because you didn't bring all this foolishness up, and you didn't expose.
I have no idea what this guy is referring to. We'll have to find out when we get into court.
Him to the world when you could have or should have, because that's what they would have done.
Well, and the real problem here is that the truth goes against the narrative that they're trying to, the lies that they're trying to push. Yes. It
goes against the narrative, the lies. See, he caught himself. It's all about narrative, and he knows it.
It completely challenges everything that they're saying and proves wrong everything that they're saying. That's the real sin I committed, is telling the truth against their lies.
Asking people, we know this guy, is he one of us? Yeah, I've done the whole Stolen Valley thing, Guardians of the Green Beret, I've given them people. Yep. I totally get it. I also, if you're going to talk to Nate, tell him, no harm, no foul. I mean, my missus, on the other hand, she's a little bit pissed at the guy.
See, this guy, this is a violent guy. No harm, no foul. I forget exactly. I mean, Nate went off on him. Really went off on him. But see how he says, yeah, my missus, watch back with her. I hope she's for real. I hope she's some real and be a real ally.
I wouldn't have him turn his back on her just yet, but she'll get over it in time.
Nate's again, you know how our people are.
Yeah.
We're all going to be extremely skeptical until we're not. And quite frankly, that's a reasonable approach. We know the last thing that we want is people within our own regiment, or people with outside of our regiment.
And I'll tell you, within the regiment, I'm a third rail, because I am a third rail. I'll tell you what, there's guys there. How do you say it? Inconvenient truth bearer. I've just always been that way. I'm not going to lie for anybody.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, there's a lot of guys, especially in the military, who are yes men. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah,
exact same problem I've been having with all of the expat wives, the homemakers, the suburban housewives. I mean, this, the dumb blonde suburban housewife who is a Trump loyalist. Yeah, they hate me. They despise me.
With them.
I've always been a bit of a contrarian myself. So
because they've married their meal ticket husband. This what, the whole honeypot thing. I'm like, I haven't seen very many women who have married for love. Most of them has been getting their meal ticket husband so they can sit around doing nothing. So that parasite on society, I know very, very, very well. But see, this is the camp that Gary Melton is in. And the camp that all of these vets who hung out Mitch to dry, because as long as they don't have any problems, they're good. They're good. The country is at $38 trillion in debt. The wars that they have been fighting, not for democracy, the rampant crimes against humanity, human rights violations, all sorts of crap.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done the whole flagpole, compete for soldier of the quarter and stuff like that. All the shiny boots and whatnot. But I wasn't in it for the Scooby Snacks. I wasn't there to pin stuff up. I was there because I wanted an actual mission, and that's one of the things I got disappointed with most.
Yeah, so allegedly, I don't know. She's been hinting that she's going to talk about how the exposure of Mitch has backfired somehow. And look, I have no doubt that she's going to cut clips, edit clips, try to make me look bad. I don't care. I don't care. Send everything that you got at me.
No, I don't. It's not Candace Owens that you should worry about in that arena. It's me, buddy. You don't even know it.
Fact is, the truth is on our side. We're going to continue to expose these people. I don't care what you do to me. You're not stopping me, Candace. You're not going to stop me. All of you freaking people that are behind her, all of her downstreamers, keep saying, I don't care if half the United States, I don't care if 99% of the United States. The only people that I answer to is God and my family. So I don't care what you say about me. I really don't. I will lose everything just for the truth because it's worth it.
He will lose. Can you imagine? And it's not for the truth. He will lose everything just to win here. He's going to destroy Mitch. I mean, there's several advantages. It'll help deviate attention away from the investigation into the Charlie Kirk assassination. It'll give him an adrenaline, high, which it's all about power. Any type of abuse, it's all about power and control, and it's the adrenaline high, and it is a form of addiction. So these are addicts. They're like vampire addicts. So, he's not going to stop. It's destroy or be destroyed. Okay, buddy. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game.
Agreed. And remember, the people that are meant to follow you and are meant to be here will be here. They will come. The people that are not meant to be here will not be here.
Exactly.
Something I did.
Just like Trump. If you don't like it, leave.
I got disappointed with more than anything. It was the importance of politics within group. It was the start of the PC era. I wasn't down with some of those. I had some problems. I had to call a guy out for being. I don't want to offend you if you're gay or not, but back then you weren't supposed to be gay and be in the service. But if that's your thing,
All right, Stormy, and many of you other people. Look, let me tell you something. I have people calling me a traitor. I have nothing but been dragged through the mud and my reputation smeared because I've been exposing the truth. So you know what? Go to your side of the argument. Go to the candidate. Go look at all the stuff that people are saying, memes they're making out of me, the AI things. I think it's hilarious. You know what? But the fact is, all they have done is insulted me. They have provided no facts. They have provided no actual argument. All they do is insult me and try to smear me when I'm showing you proof that this guy has lied time and time again and has zero credibility. So don't even come at me with that nonsense.
It doesn't sound like.
Oh my goodness, a chord was really struck there. This guy's a real homophobe.
It's 2025. You never know.
I got an ex-wife, a wife, and 4 kids.
Oh, half the gay guys in San Francisco have kids. That ain't no explanation.
That's true.
That's another one, ding ding moment. Oh no, they have children. They couldn't be gay.
Jesus. But no, I had to call a guy out. He was stalking me and others, and he was part of our class. His name was Jimmy Walker. I'm gonna look him up. And back then, I got in trouble for wanting to just. I didn't want to be on the same team as him. Didn't want to be in the same group. Everybody kept asking me. Finally, they pressed it out of me. I had to tell the team. God, what was his name? Bruce Ring, big tough guy back then. Great team sergeant until this issue came up, and then, some guys are tough in front of bullets and you know, jumping out of planes and stuff, and then they get in front of political issues like this, and they're not. How do you say?
Right.
They melt like little pansies, man. And you know, if you are actually SF, and you know, we'll check you out.
He's making a little take a mirror, Gary.
We'll see. You know that the guys, the team room atmosphere, I used to describe it as they were worse than a group of old hens, group of old ladies gossiping in church. Son of a bitch, man, these guys. So
he says churches, I say country clubs. Same
oh
deal.
yeah, well, this Jimmy Walker guy, his dad.
I said this the day after this video. It might have even been that night I did a live stream. I told everybody that I talked to Mitch. I've said it on multiple live streams. I spent 2.5 hours on the phone with him. This is no secret, folks.
Something, and was part of the Clinton administration, and yeah, you know, I had to call him out. I didn't want to. It was the whole don't ask, don't tell, but you know, he made it pretty apparent. So rather than kill the guy and get in trouble for it, I tried to do the right thing and just ask to, you know, change me to a different group. I'd like to, you know, before this blows up into the next, you know, gay beret incident or something, I'd like to go work somewhere else. And no, they blew it up like crazy. It went all the way to
That's sexual harassment.
freaking administration back. And they took his side. They tried to claim, oh, he wasn't gay. Lying sons of
Gosh, what are we
bitches.
talking about?
Man, you fast forwarded to 2000. Jimmy Walker is in the gay parade
What is he talking about? Has this guy been asleep or what's going on with him?
in Seattle wearing his beret on the front freaking paper. Okay. And now he's writing books and going to colleges talking about how you guys all at First Group gave him PTSD and treated him so badly for being gay. And, you know, I can't win for losing. This guy's making money off this stupid shit. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Third rail. Yeah. I might just adopt that name. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good video.
Well, yeah, man. No, listen, it was really great talking to you. Like I said, what I will be is I will be your biggest advocate, and you know, if
only if I check out. You vet the shit out of me. I dare you to.
I'll be your
that's what I was getting ready to say.
biggest advocate.
You check out. I'll be your biggest advocate, and either way, I'd love to have you on. I'll tell Nate I talked to you, and
Yeah, you can tell him I called him a big faggot with those jazz hands he's swinging around all the time.
he does like this. He does like to.
You tell him I know that his sergeant major was Richard Simmons. Just by looking and about how he talks about big guys all the time, you know, and he's dissing on short guys. Yeah. And then he's hanging around with his prison sex partners, JD DeLay. Yeah. All right. A little bit suspect. And it makes more sense that he's from First Group. You tell him I said that. Behind
Who's
camera.
he talking about?
All right. No, it's really been
He's talking about Nate from Valhalla.
Yeah.
talking. Thank you for reaching out. Honestly.
Yeah, man. No, that's what I thought was the right thing to do. Reach out to you directly.
At least with men, you know, somebody punches you, well, you get to punch him back, and then we're done. No, with the feminists, crazy women who've gotten in here, no. Just let him punch you. Just let him punch you. Fuck that shit.
And not, you know.
Yeah, I can go ahead and name drop a bunch of people. Me and Nate Chapman, for instance, we were good buddies. We graduated Robin Sage together. We went through the, the commemoration dinner, you know, the SF dinner and stuff together. But First Group, the wonderful people that they are, didn't even send a rep for us. So it was me, Nate, and Tom West who sat there drinking the champagne. So because there was only three of us, we had a whole bunch of extra champagne that all the other guys wanted. So it started a little bit of a war during the dinner. But yeah, no, I can name drop all day long. I know the people, places, things.
Awesome. Well, like I said, you know, if you want to send me your DD-214, I'll check that out. You know, like I said, I'm here to be your biggest advocate.
Do you want my social security number on there? Can I trust you with that, or are you going to redact it?
I'm not going to show even your DD-214. You can. I think probably I have your social on this thing. Again,
You got my social on it? I mean, they got my social on that thing.
Hold on, the audio's still going. There we go.
when SF was in Q course from 2005, 2006, and then the first group, and then went through my deployments and trade tours, Philippines, Asia, all the things. And
I don't know how the strip clubs were. I can tell you a whole thing about it. the first
Colin is
first
the
Gulf
work
War,
on.
you know, in training then, and they were asking for people to
Hey, that
go
were
and come
not.
back. And if you were at Fort Bragg while they were deployed, they always said that there were no women available at Fort Bragg before I went, because you know it's like what, 8 guys, everyone there. Yeah, it was a little bit of competition, you know. And yeah, Rick's, I think it was Rick's, right? The strip club there, it was like strip club.
Well,
Right?
this is just about Fort Bragg.
Uh,
Yeah, every place at Fayetteville was strip club. Like you go to breakfast, and it was topless. Yeah, yeah, you couldn't go out to breakfast with your family without, you know, it being a topless joint. So, yeah, what an incredible time that was before 9/11, way back when. But yeah,
while I was there at the time, I started dating a woman that's now my wife. I actually I still have a condo off Riley Road that is the rental property.
that's fun. Riley Road.
Now,
Yeah.
one of these guys, his wife is or at least she's worked in a strip bar. If she wasn't a former stripper, it might be Gary's. This is what it might be in reference to. So that's another thing, Gary. You want to start pulling out skeletons, and you want to start examining skeletons. Two can play that game.
It's been a while. I've heard it's become a city.
They are. Anyone that's at 7K or I've sold out or TPUSA has directed me, auto ban.
My son was actually born in Madigan.
Oh, really?
None of it's true.
Yeah, the point being, there were guys that hadn't come back from the 82nd. The main body hadn't come back yet. And if you went out to the bars then, at that time, it was packed with women. When I say packed, I mean like sardine can packed. And if you were a guy that was in pretty good shape there, you had girls coming up to you buying you drinks and saying, "Hey, can I take you home?" Now, as a young guy,
this is the thing with the Me Too movement. I'm sorry, all of these women throwing themselves at men and men.
Again, I'm young. I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm thinking,
Exactly.
wow, I don't know what they were talking about. There's a lot of women around this place. Boy, and they seem to be pretty well off and not too needy. They got their own homes and cars and everything. Huh?
We got plenty of allies.
But
That's a nice thing.
I was literally in a bar when
Not just me.
and it had a disco light, a little band playing on the race stand there. It was packed, and then all of a sudden they stopped the music. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. 82nd Airborne, confirmed. Touchdown on the tarmac. Ladies and gentlemen, especially you ladies, you've got people you're expecting to come home. They're on the ground right now.
What is
The
wrong
whoosh
with this
that left
guy?
that
This
place
is
was
not
me,
normal.
What is wrong with this girl? She's not normal.
Very odd story.
I mean, what is happening right now?
Well, he's telling a story of what it's like to serve in the military and all of the loose sexual morals and all of the strippers and the entire environment. That's what he's telling you about, little girl.
Oh, I'm going to go on a limb. I bet you this guy has some crazy ADHD. Because, I mean, he is like...
He's got ADHD? Where'd you come up with that one?
Least.
He is on all cylinders. And he just hasn't stopped. Because you've already said, like, it's good talking to you. You kind of like signed off like 5-10 minutes ago.
He likes to talk.
Well, did Gary hang up? I mean, see, this whole stuff, well, the conversation continued on. That's not because of Mitch. Gary could have hung up.
He just talks.
Before, there's little chewing gum wrappers spinning around on the floor. And, oh, yeah, it just became empty. And then from then on, they were empty from then on, too, Of course, that started the whole epidemic of guys coming home to shoot, We had one guy at training group there. He came.
Yeah, and on top of that, I don't know if he cut it out or if it comes later. All right, at one point, I tell him, look, I will be your biggest advocate, but if I find out that you're lying, all right, I will hold you to task. I don't remember what I said exactly. I will call you out.
Yeah.
All right. And I found out that he was lying, and I found out a whole lot of other things that is relevant too. I don't care about the fact. I mean, again, I do. All right. Yeah, he's abusive. He's a liar. But the point is that his credibility is gone because he lies to everybody so much. He lies even when he doesn't need to.
Gary, take out a mirror.
I found multiple different documents where he has said that he's an 18 Delta, a medic, as opposed to an 18 Charlie. All right. That is what he has said, and many times. So this guy can't help himself but lie.
I want to say it wasn't Rambo. Was it Rambo or something like that? He came home literally to find his team captain going at it with his wife inside of his bedroom. And he went ahead and ventilated that guy's asshole a little bit with a little bit of gunfire as he jumped out the window. I don't think he got in trouble for it though. I think the captain got kicked out I think he had to do a little bit of time in the mental ward and got a divorce. I'll back on the
Middle Martin got a divorce for shooting his captain. This little girl, and she is, I mean, God, where did they pull this thing out of? What hat did she come out of?
Yeah, SF, what do you do?
What do you do? Well, listen, this man is a real pleasure to talk to you. Like
Yeah,
I said,
yeah, you got another story we can't tell online, otherwise you're going to get yourself canceled. Sorry.
Well, I do care.
You get yourself.
That should have been an indication for Gary. Ding, ding. Guess where this is going to end up?
I care the fact that I've been told that I'm a liar, that I'm a fed, that I've been directed by TPUSA, that I am, you know, a traitor to my country. I have been defamed by some of the largest platforms on the face of the planet. Yeah, you better believe lawsuits are coming, without a doubt. Charges are coming for this. This is illegal. All right, he shared this content, and then what they did is they took that content that was illegal to begin with, they manipulated it, edited it to make me look bad, which doesn't. But yeah, I'm going to hold them accountable. They broke the law.
Nobody edited this to make him look bad. He made himself look bad. This is just like TPUSA, which is, you know, shooting themselves. They're the ones who are making themselves look bad, and they just want somebody to blame. So they're pointing the finger at Candace Owens because she wants to find out who killed her husband, and it's looking more and more like TPUSA is involved. And I will tell you at the end of this, just before I finish, and then whoever, we'll see who is listening to my videos, if they can say who I think at this point is behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So let's just finish this up.
Law. I thought this was what this was all about, like holding people accountable. They broke the law.
Holding people
accountable. I know. It's
and remember, everyone listening and whoever clips this and whatever happens, always remember, doxing is a crime. And was there not doxing that also took place in here? Just
he doxed me. Yep.
Oh,
what are they called? Demonetized?
I mean, this is too good. This is too good because this is just what I was thinking about. So basically, she's also saying that they're going to go after Mitch Snow, the guy who has released this, but also everybody who's going to be using this and repeating it and redistributing it on the internet. I don't know if that's just going to be reposting or taking it in a video and using it for content. Well, Gary just shot himself in the head once again, because he's just posted this video on his own platform. So I think that one's not going to fly.
But it's okay.
Gary, no, it's been good talking to you too. Thank you for reaching out. You tell Nate. For those documents. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a little bit of harassment, but no, I would be proud to speak with him or anybody else. We gotta let Candace do her thing though first. There's important stuff coming out. You do understand the implications, right?
Oh, I understand the implications. It's quite big.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know what else to say. It was just yeah, wrong place, wrong time. Or right place, right time.
Yeah, how you look at it.
And you know, you and I, we can look around the room and know which veterans are have a little bit different sheen, even if they're in civilian clothing. These people stuck out, you know. That woman had my ex-wife's eyes. You know, they're really creepy. So I didn't mean for this. I meant for this just be a tip. Hey, you might want to check it out and see where these people were the day before, because I think they were there. And I had no idea Miss Candace Owens was going to go ahead and blurt out my whole life story that I tried to get to her in about the same amount of times I've been talking to you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, so far there's no it's been real quiet, so we're happy for that, I guess. Yeah, hasn't got me a cup of coffee yet. Yeah.
Well, like I said, man, you know, what matters is the proof, and if everything that we think is true with this, like, it has to get out. You know, that's
okay, let's finish this up.
That's all that matters, man. Because the American people.
You start finding that I'm not credible. It's because you ain't asked for the documentation. I'll back it up. And if I could have been wearing a camera on my eyes at that point, I would love to. I need to invest in that kind of stuff. Where's Elon? Anyway.
all need to invest on these.
Seriously, I've had a guy up there, but they only work with freaking Facebook, and I hate that.
Send us the glasses with the
There
cameras.
you go.
in.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate
Okay,
you,
that's
and
either.
appreciate you spending the time with me. And like I said, I'll be your biggest advocate for
I'll shoot you off documents. How many documents you want? What do you want?
your DDT 14. If you want to throw anything else in there, you're welcome to, and for additional benefities.
Sure.
Steve, Mitch had
Whatever
something.
you feel comfortable with. I'm not going to dox you no matter what. If I'm like, hey, this guy's a complete liar, I'm not going to put your information out there. I'm not.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I've already had my stuff like it's been. My house been ransacked. My stuff been stolen, and the one thing that they were after is the one folder I have. The only reason they did
Even right
that
there, I
is
said, look,
because
even if I say that this guy's a complete liar, he knows what's up.
Very, not very loving looking book.
I don't even want to change it for you because I don't want, like, because we know.
Yeah, but I got the microfiches and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay,
We just-
let's get through this. I'm trying to get.
I was like, these were clearly bot attacks, by the way. So these people were saying, "Oh, This is before that. Again, there was no FBI narrative at the time. We were still. This is like the 1 week into this.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
suddenly it's like you're a Zionist. You're a Zionist. You're paid by Israel. You're a Fed.
All this is
all
true.
Of this fucking craziness. And then people started coming out with these other.
Well, I think actually, if you step
Conspiracies.
back there was a little something that went on there just before that too. I think it was not Tucker Carlson, Lindsey Graham, and that other television host. I forget his name. Where they did this very
Lindsey Graham.
non-organic force thing where they were holding up signs and saying Tucker Carlson isn't MAGA. I don't know if you remember that, but that about the same time frame. I remember seeing that stuff. I understand that you're getting at the fracturing of stuff, and I understand. Go ahead.
And my point is one is the truth. And here's what I see as an underlying thing that's going on, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, is Candace has bad blood with TPUSA. I think that's a fair assessment.
I guess about the understatement of the century, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. And when she jumps in here and starts saying, "Oh, because Mikey McCoy and some of these other people," she like Candace immediately wrote off the idea that there was Tyler Robinson was the shooter. All the other things. She was jumping from narrative to narrative to narrative.
All true.
And all of those came back to three things that Candace.
No, not true. Because a lot of people, myself included, I said, I don't buy it for a moment. And she wasn't jumping around. She was looking for clues, trying to figure out, conducting an investigation into a crime like it should be.
Always disliked. And that was
Not them
TPUSA,
recording
Israel,
Candace Owens.
French.
Oh no.
Again, I don't know how much.
What is that on the
you read up
screen?
That was my.
That was
Paramount.
your account?
on all this stuff.
Oh.
Or paid attention to the previous.
Yeah, some of it because I mean I am familiar a little bit with
Not help a thing.
I mean I didn't join the French Foreign League. I considered it.
So did I actually at one point.
Yeah, so I do know
He was instructed to change the way
so
he was
one of our trainers
recording.
from the
He was
300 F1
instructed-
course was
What's
master.
this? He was instructed to change the way he's recording. This girl needs to be vetted as well.
Chief Jones, and he is actually one of the people mentioned in the book.
Exactly.
What is it? Mouthful of Rocks. It's a legendary book about French Foreign Legion. And that guy had an incredible story. He really crazy, and he would tell us about it. I know a little bit about it.
Yeah, the French Foreign Legion is something else.
I think some.
Can I ask you a
I
question?
really don't have a
Sure.
whole lot of opinion.
What was the name of that author? Did he say?
Oh, I don't know. You want me to go back?
Okay, 'cause it's okay because I don't want to take. I know you have somewhere to be.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how much
I just-
you read up on all this stuff or you paid attention to the previous.
Yeah, some of it because I mean I am familiar a little bit with I mean I didn't join the French Foreign League. I considered it.
So did I actually at one point.
Yeah, so I do know. So one of our trainers from the 300 F1 course was Master Chief Jones, and he is actually one of the people mentioned in the book. Was it Mouthful of Rocks?
He mentioned in the book. Sorry, I thought you said the author of the book.
Like, crazy. He tells about it. I know a little bit about it. I think I really don't have a whole lot of opinions about a lot of stuff. I mean, I know possibilities. I think all possibilities should be considered. You know, until
I 100% agree with you. I'm 100% agree with you. My concern is that Candace has been exploited by political and or foreign adversaries. Is one of the things that you can't, that it's hard to get away from, regardless of what you feel about the Trump administration or whatever else, is that
big supporter of him, by the way. I'm one of the first supporters.
Awesome.
I've supported. As a matter of fact, I went to war with most of the guys in the SF Brotherhood on the Facebook page there. I'm the reason that they said you can't talk politics in there anymore.
This guy's so hard to talk
handed to him
too, because he just cuts in
me
with
and
every
Landon
time.
Valentine, the guy I mentioned before, were the first to speak up in that room and to be Trump supporters, and that was back in 2012, something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, way back when.
So my point is I feel like Candace is being exploited, and I feel like part of this is a personal vendetta for Candace. And by the way, I loved Candace. And then the other problem that I have with what she has done is she has accused a lot of people without evidence. And I also feel like what's doing is distracting us away from what's really taking place. And I think there's something larger at play here. I think to me it's pretty obvious. Between the bot attacks, things that are being promoted within the internet.
Sorry.
And
I'm actually clicking on your video in the background.
nice.
Go ahead.
And I've also, Candace has definitely omitted a lot of information. Like, for instance, if you're watching my video where I said Candace is lying, she intentionally says that, you have to scale the roof like Spider-Man. That's not true. She's never shown how to get up onto that roof. And I think if you saw, I don't know, again, like if you see how this whole thing with Tyler Robinson is plausible because it was fairly simple. With that being said, when you're saying that the French Foreign Legion, Israel, and the United States are all getting together to kill Charlie Kirk, it starts becoming a lot less plausible.
Right.
And maybe, and I'm open to it. Look, I think our government is corrupt. I think, but at the end of the day, what I want is the truth. And I went to UVU to see what was going on there. I did a 3D model. I had actually paid for a survey and drone to actually model the place, and I paid for the model itself so that people can, and I gave that away for free. So that people can go on there, take a look at this, and they can play shooters.
Great. How much did his podcast earn? This is,
to figure out what's possible, what's true, what's not.
Oh, you were going to set up a 3D model to try to reenact the scene and CSI it from, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I did.
Okay.
And I gave that. So here's what happened. I spent thousands of bucks traveling there. I spent thousands of dollars, my own money, with a 3D model surveyor with a drone to map that place. And then when I got back, I spent a bunch of money in addition to another guy named CJ Carenti. He had a model. What we didn't have was where the Charlie setup, right? So we didn't have tent, we didn't have Charlie, we didn't have everything from that day from the scan. And he spent tens of thousands.
Mitch ran circles around me.
Charlie in the right spot. That model is plus or minus like 1 inch. That's how to scale and accurate it is. So what that allowed, and then I gave that away. I just made it public. People can download it. There's 2 different versions of it. There's a Blender version, which is 3D modeling software. And what that allowed us to do was, just like you said, you can, there was a guy saying, oh, there was a shooter over in this position. Well, just looking at it from Google Earth and imagery, I'm like, man, there's not a line of sight from that position. I just know it, but I can't prove it. So what we did was we got the model, and then people can put shooters in that position. You can see from that position whether or not what is real and what is not. At the end of the day, I want the truth. That's what I want, and I think that's really important. And I do think
what's the truth?
I think there's some things that are happening that I think there's a lot of psychological operations taking place right now. I think some of those are political. Some of those are possibly being perpetrated by foreign adversaries because they don't want the Trump administration. And what this has done is it's put a lot of doubt on the current Trump administration. And I do think that some of the things that are being said and being done are going to greatly affect the midterms, going to greatly affect 2028. And I think you and I can agree the last thing that we want is...
you got to think of the Trump administration. You got to think of the Republicans. You got to think of the bigger picture of this country and all that Trump can do for it. And that's where he's going there.
I'm okay holding the government accountable. I want to hold the government accountable no matter what.
I get where you're coming from. And
if they were involved in this, I'll be the first one to say, let's fry these guys. I also don't want to be tricked by social media personalities because they're pushing something because of a vendetta. And I don't want to be tricked by political forces, and I don't want to be tricked by foreign adversaries that are trying to make it to where we have a weaker United States. I
did say that, and I realized I misremembered.
That's my motivation, man.
I mean, I don't know. I put it up on the screen.
I hear you. Sound like.
And again, I'm looking at the call. It was me that called him back. I forgot.
Let me out.
My bad.
You come on your show or something. I get that. And you've already had questions. Anytime somebody says SF on the air, oh, every one of us gets in our gruff and starts hunting down every single teammate he's ever had. I get it. When it comes to these politics, just like you said, on one hand, I hear what you're saying. There's Candace Owens, and she's got her angle with things. She's got her stuff. And she's claiming, conspiracies and foreign involvement and stuff like that. And then on the same hand, you're over here, you're claiming, that she's probably under influence of foreign governments and conspiracies and everything else. And I see it both here. I hope you understand. It's not a...
Yeah, and that's what I want you to understand. Yeah. And at the end of the day, the truth is what's important. And you gotta
come over to what I say? I got no fucks to give. I have been a Trump supporter like crazy. And the main reason is because the guy couldn't be a sellout. He couldn't be bought. And the only time that ever fractured for me had nothing to do with any of this stuff. None of this stuff has actually even fractured that for me. I know how government is and its layers and how many times a boss is not responsible for their stupid private stuff. The only time that's fractured for me was when after 8-10 years of him saying bring on the Epstein list, and he just comes out of the blue and says,
there it is.
Me, are you still talking about
How
Epstein?
Did I know that was coming? He just told you exactly who he is.
When somebody takes a 180-degree turn,
tell me to me.
Down, and then they dish out. What did they dish out yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before? They finally gave out the Epstein list? Yeah, what was on that list? 88 pages of black markers. So you're telling me that Dan Bongino at the FBI was sitting there for the last 6 months with a black marker going over 88 pages to make sure he got every little piece of white out on there? Is that what's been happening? Something tells me there's a list. I think somebody's lying to us there.
There's no doubt. And the other thing too is
there's no doubt.
Look, we had that whole narrative is complicated to say the least. I'm with you on that. Like, we got to get to the bottom of that. We got to get to the bottom of it. And this is, so I started out this channel as like just a gun channel, right? All we did, I own a company. We teach firearms. We teach, we train people in basic through advanced, pistol, rifle, long range. We kind of specialize in long range. That's kind of what we're known for.
10 years ago, I probably could have taught your class. I'm down with you. I know exactly what you probably do.
You might want to reconsider being a podcaster and stick to training soldiers.
And I think you probably do it better than anybody else in the world too. You and
well, and I got a great cadre of instructors. It's not just me.
Yeah, we both know that.
And then on top of that, I started this YouTube channel during COVID, and then of course I covered firearms and stuff like that. But I'm also in politics, and what I mean by that is, like, I think it's important to preserve and protect the Constitution, to push the things that I believe, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. That's what you and I fought for this country for. We signed up for. We swore an oath. That oath didn't go away, and I still feel that way. And I see that this country is being torn away and being eroded by what I see is a real problem with leftist politics, whether we're talking about trans ideology, whether we're talking about the attack on the Second Amendment, the attack on the First Amendment, and then we have a media that lies and pushes things.
You're gonna have to forgive me if you hear a scream in the background. It's not some little kid. Don't call the police. That's my blue gold macaw, and he's quite the character too. He saved my life.
So
yeah, you gotta put those disclaimers.
Long story short, that's where I'm coming from, man. And what I am is 100%. I believe in integrity. I believe in telling the truth. I believe in making sure that the truth is known, and that's what I want to get down to.
So let me ask you this then. Since you're doing this, you're into it probably way more than I am. I know everybody is sitting on the sidelines here. Any SF guy who shot a gun, God knows, we had to do calls on that, all of it, right? Mm-hmm. Every single year. Yeah, we go out to the range and we have to burn down the ranges with phosphorus rounds damn near every year. Look, we all know something seems wrong with the 30-06 thing. What do you think?
What I think is kind of what I've said from the beginning is that the problem is we don't know. The problem is we don't, everything that we would need to know about the ammunition and about the rifle that would help us to determine a terminal ballistic outcome. We don't know. We don't know the grain of that bullet. We don't know the type of ammunition. We don't know whether it was hand loads or factory. We don't know if the type of the projectile, was it full metal jacket? Was it soft point? Was it a ballistic tip? Was it frangible? We don't know any of those things.
Yeah, it could have been a blank round at close range. We don't know. I get it.
100%. So, I'm a little, what I do know, and even going into this, obviously, I've shot a 30-06 5 or 6 times. It's not, it's a fairly antiquated round. It's nothing that we use.
I grew up with them. Sorry, I grew up.
Stop right here 1 second. It's just why they say, oh, we can't, until the trial, we can't release any of the evidence we have other than what we've already given, that's in the documents. I mean, why can't the bullet wound, certain information, and I still think that should have been included in the original filing, because basically the filing with the courts is accepting the narrative of the government, and she's just going to try and disprove that he shot the. I mean, really, it's speculative what the strategy of the defense is. Whatever it is, it's not good.
Dad used to take us deer hunting all the time. Yeah, so I grew up with them. They're canon. Yeah.
But the reality is, like, with the 30-06, there's everything from like 55 grain old accelerator rounds all the way up to 220 grain, and with a lot of different other options in between. And originally going into this, I had the same opinion there. Like, there's no fucking way that this guy was hitting the neck with a 30-06. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, I teach long range for a living, and I also know that weird shit happens with ammo. Like, we just had some 6mm Creedmoor ammo that we were out shooting on the range just a few months ago, and about every fifth round would exit the barrel, and the round would disintegrate. So we don't know that, and that's another thing too. Is like, we don't know how old that ammo was. We don't know if there was something.
The round. Are you telling me that a round from a 30-06 disintegrated, leaving the barrel? What was in
30-06 round? No, this wasn't a 30-06 round. This was a like long range precision rifle and 6mm Creedmoor is what the round was.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I've seen the same thing happen with 6.5 Creedmoor, and it's quantity ELDM.
I have no idea.
So my point is when it comes to the variables that we're dealing with ballistics, there is typical and atypical results. And without doubt, what we see with Charlie Kirk is an atypical result. Now, there's 1,000 explanations I can come up with off the top of my head that explain that. It could be a ground was stabilized, so it started to yaw, and started to tumble and hit, which that makes a little bit of sense to me because we have an atypical inference wound. That inference wound was larger than normal. And what I can say with certainty is if
everybody thinks that looks more like an actual one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what I can say with certainty is that if that round, even if it was 30-06, even if it was 220 grain, even if it was 20 per second, if that round, that projectile was an extreme yaw, so it didn't hit the skin at first. It was already 3/4 of the way sideways, reach sideways when it hit.
Yeah.
The chances of it, and especially once it
hits. You know the
hits.
problem with that, right? Well, 30-06, so our military rounds are made to tumble. 30-06 aren't.
He's not listening.
Right, not made to tumble in the air, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If we have a round that wasn't stabilized, there'd be something wrong with
the round, something was off.
There's a thousand plausible explanations as to why. And here's the other thing too. One thing that I was not aware of before this incident, and I've studied in depth on this, was Martin Luther King. What happened with Martin Luther King is extremely similar, unbelievably similar to what happened to Charlie Kirk. Martin Luther King was shot from 65 yards away with a 30-06 round. It hit him in his face. It glanced off his jaw and then went into his neck and hit his spine and then went downward. Now, there's a lot of controversy around Martin Luther King, right? Whether or not it was James Earl Ray shot him, whether or not CIA was involved, all those things. But one thing that was never really tested during that time was whether or not it was 30-06. So we have Martin Luther King shot from half the distance that Charlie Kirk was. It hit his spine, and this is important. This is one of the things that is interesting to me. Right. It hit his spine and didn't exit, just like with Charlie Kirk. And so much so that Martin Luther King ended up having an open casket funeral. Then on top of that, then we had another case study, which Nate just had on his show.
They recycled me into the Charlie. I go to Charlie. My buddy, he goes. He continues on. I think he was the class valedictorian at that point. Going to go. So he's going through. You know how.
Okay. I want to try and get to the end. Yeah. Okay.
Good talk.
As I say.
Yeah. Say the exact same things that I always say in the show. Very consistent. There's no doubt about that. Let me just do this real quick. All right, so real quick, let me remove this. We will get this set up right here.
There we go.
All right. Let me go through some of these. You guys, I'm gonna start hitting some of the super chats real quick. I got about 10, 15 minutes. You guys got any super add to that or anything like that?
I want you to know the supers, but he just reminds me of the guy that comes to the high school reunion. And everything that you say that you've done, he's done it like that and then some. Yeah. Oh, you go hunting? Oh, I wrestle bears. Oh, you skydive? I'm an astronaut. Oh, you like to surf? Let me tell you, I've been down to the Titanic. It's everything he says is almost, or everything you say or whatnot is like a one-up. Oh, I know this guy. You don't know Tong Win? Oh, man, the guy was crazy. You don't know James Bond? That's my nephew, man. Everything was just a one-up story. It's crazy.
No, it wasn't. And he was name dropping for specific reasons that I enumerated. And also, this guy, this really pisses me off. And this exposes another parallel with the vets and expats. Because the vets, like as Mitch Snow says, the Army gave me a good life. I mean, I got to travel, and this is what they put on their, enrollment publicity, come see the world, travel with us. They don't say we might shoot you might get shot and killed or lose a leg or something like that. No, that's not a selling point, of course not. So there is that parallel with, and like I'll say to people, I mean, I'm a little lucky because we're working downtown. You do have a big international community, and with the IMF and the World Bank, these people have lived in different countries and they have traveled. And I mean, you know, I don't ever say to people, oh yeah, I've lived in how many countries? 6 countries, uh, you know, Paris, Madrid, London, Bogota, uh, DC. And I mean, I'm not doing it to show off. And I know a lot of people take that, particularly people who haven't left the United States. Oh, she's just, you know, show. And I'm like, oh, yeah, oh, Bogota, you know, that. No, those are just talking points that I have because that's where I lived. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, oh, I travel too. I'm like, well, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm not trying to show off. Well, my Lord, I'm one of like the most, as they say in Colombia, no da papaya. And in fact, no, I don't tell people like everything because, like with Mitch Snow, this whole stuff about the Zodiac Killer. Now, I don't have serial killers in my family that I know of. But yeah, there's some skeletons there. And it's, you know, I don't have anything to hide. It's just people would be like, oh my freaking God, this is not possible. This woman must be crazy. But yeah, it's true.
100% true. Dom C 303. Oh my God. Candace Owen cult members. Mitch was at the military base. No one is questioning that. He lied that Brian was there, that Erica was at the hotel. He's fabricating a story for 15 minutes of fame. And he's definitely fabricating a story that he walked in on some secret meeting. It did not happen. There would be no meeting.
He never said he walked on any secret meeting. God, how people turn things around and then they keep on re-repeating and re-repeating and re-repeating the same fake news. He was in the lobby. He was in the building. He saw some people coming in. He didn't go into any meeting room that was some secret meeting.
There at Joint Task Force Southern Border. It's not what they would do, and the U.S. military wouldn't be involved. That would be a clandestine operation with the deepest, darkest sections of the CIA. Do you think there's a bigger game going on? I'm feeling this is...
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, another ding, 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 ding moment. That would be subversive work. That would be CIA. That wouldn't have been the military. Something we got to investigate, I think. Because and Didi got a podcast. Somebody was commenting. He said, you know, we're always looking at the CIA. We're always looking CIA. We're never considering the military because effectively they are working together. But I think there's quite animosity. I think there's competition, animosity between them. I assume military is more like we're superior because we use our noggin more than you know, guns and force. And the military, of course, is force. So that's a ding ding moment.
Isn't organic, and they're pulling real independent media to confuse it more. Yes, I do. That's what I said from the beginning. And I think all of this is inorganic. And I know, like, I saw several chats talk about, Gary, why don't you just move on? Don't give this guy air. Folks, you have no idea what's happening over on X. Let me tell you something. They are pushing this. They're defaming me. They're saying I'm a liar, that I'm a Fed. Like, there's no other choice but to fight back on this. We're going to fight back on this from an information standpoint. I'm not going to let them get out a negative, false narrative while I just sit here on my hands. All right, we're going to combat this head on at all times, and then we are going to take legal action in multiple.
Negative. You should take out the false there, Gary. We got it. You cannot let them continue with this negative narrative. That's the bottom line. Your alliance is to the military-industrial complex instead of the American people or the U.S. Constitution.
Multiple different arenas. So fear not. Tom Time will make fools of this man and Candace. You all will be vindicated in Charlie's honor. Sending best wishes from Canada. Truth always prevails. This is from Solo. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, buddy.
All of you all, Gary and the little lady there and the gentleman at the bottom, get out some mirrors.
Elizabeth, keep kicking butt, Gary. Thank you very much. Odorize ramblings. Mitch, I want to buy you lunch. Come back to Arizona. Let's break bread.
Really
I'll break.
I don't know if we're going to be any interesting things.
If you high five him, it'll probably break his entire arm right back. Thank you very much, Dom. I see you changed your. I was talking to Dom, and I thought it was a dude because she had a lighthouse as an icon.
Let's see if there's any.
So, anyways, thank you, Dom. Yes, he changed that. He corrected me.
Question.
Thank you for trying to wake up Candace. Called Gary. Candace is not seeking the truth for Charlie. She is using this opportunity to destroy TV USA. The reason Charlie kept things cordial with her is that he understood her capabilities and knew her soul. And I do think that, Charlie was just a peacemaker. He wasn't going to call somebody out publicly unless he had to. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to avoid what she is doing, and that is fracturing the right needlessly.
Oh, okay. See, what Candace is doing is fracturing the right needlessly. It's all Candace's fault that the Republican, Trump supporters and his base, the MAGA base, is fracturing. It's not Candace's fault.
Been reading X post attacking Gary. Nobody proved that the Antifa cult is demonic than attacking someone of Gary's caliber on behalf of a woman abusing serial liar. I'm all over these low IQs. Thank you, Dr. Altoids. I've seen you on X, and I appreciate that.
Am I the only one noticing the pattern of the fact that this fraction of the right that's going towards this Candace Owens stuff, along with a portion of the left, it's the same as the Democrats defending all these criminals and, criminal illegal wife beaters, and now Maduro. Like, Democrats, we want, no dictators. We need a regime change. Trump has to go. No kings. Also, Democrats, free Maduro. It's like the same situation.
Honestly, it's a lot.
This girl says that other people are crazy. Wait a second. The thing is, first off, she should inform herself a little bit about what she's talking about before she opens her mouth. But the people supporting Candace at this moment, because this basically what it's not Candace, it's supporting due process, and we're not going to let you all, use a fall guy to in the case of the Charlie Kirk assassination. That's all that this is all about. These guys are making it into some party politicking thing, and it's just a gaslight, and it's to point the finger at Candace so they can use her as a scapegoat. That's what's going on here.
A lot of the same people. What I've realized, and a lot of this has to do with the stuff that Patriot Dad and you guys have been covered, is the fact that there's a huge element of Antifa in the Candace Owens crowd. That's a fact. The other part,
there's huge Antifa in the Candace Owens crowd. Okay, that I want statistics, and I want some examples.
This is most of those people that are conservatives or Republicans. Most of those are never Trumpers, and then there's a huge faction of the left that is pushing and supporting this. Those are all very obvious.
Faction of the left. I would say the left, which I'm a part of, which I threw my hands up with the left a long time ago, because the feminists, the minoritarists, they just want power, and they want to take over this country from the WASPs. So I'm part of that liberal, but no, we're supporting Candace because she is a centrist, and she is calling for the rule of law instead of party politicking. This girl, really not a good idea to get on this team.
You'll start talking to these candy cult members, and they'll say, "Oh, just like your leader," and they start trashing Trump. They were never part of MAGA. There's some that were. I mean, there's a bunch of crossover and a bunch of intermingling, but the fact is that the left has hijacked Candace's movement as well. Domsey, again, Gary, we appreciate all your hard work. Please don't let the trolls get to you. We love your channel and support you in every show.
Candace is not some head of some movement. Candace is a journalist, investigating the murder of Charlie Kirk. Candace is not some ahead of some movement or political party or anything like that. I mean, these people are just, they're making up stuff as they go along.
And if we disagree, God bless you. Thank you for your service. SK, I'm a fan. You rock, girl. You do rock, SK. I feel like Jay Witt right now is Mr. Wilson off of Home Improvement. You just
Yeah, there we go.
That was me the other day, but it was good because I was trying to eat pieces of beef jerky because I was starving. So the thing would pop up and I'd put a piece of beef jerky in my mouth.
motorcycle gangs isn't exclusive to Harleys, i.e. Rough Riders. Correct. Megas Ladon, new member. Thank you very much. You got 2 memberships. You're awesome. Folks, again, if you want to support us, you can become a member. We have that. You can also go be a subscriber on X. You can go to our newsletter if you want to support us through. Oh God, where's our newsletter from? Okay. What's the main vlogging?
We've gone.
I'll think about it. Anyways, yeah. So, anyways, there's lots of different ways. Substack. There you go. You can go be a contributor.
Okay. So we'll finish it up there for today. Yeah, I didn't even we didn't get past this slide. Okay, so that I really wanted to get to because I saw Gary post that yesterday. I was like, Gary, like, really, you should just cut your losses. Sometimes you should take some lessons that you can't win, every battle or every skirmish. And sometimes you just want to cut your losses and leave. And that's one of these occasions. So, okay. So have a nice day, and I guess we'll see this afternoon what it is Candace has in surprise for us, and I guess that'll determine kind of how I move forward.